And so I thought I would do a tag video. This is called the Finished Book Tag, and it is a tag created by Steve Donahue, which he's a very interesting booktuber, and I definitely, he's another booktuber that I just sometimes like listening to hearing him talk. What he has to say. He's very intelligent, a very intelligent man, and I watched this video. I did not watch his video. I'm going to watch it when I upload this video. Well, I'm uploading this video, but I watched Olive from Book Olive, her video of her doing this tag. That's how I found this tag. So I will link hers and Steve Donahue's videos below. Okay, so question number 1. Do you keep a list of the books you have read? Okay, I am one of those people. I, of course, am one of the millions of readers on Goodreads, and so of course there's a list on there. But a lot of times, because I don't have like over 100 books, although I'm getting close to that, I create a Word document with all the books that I have on my shelf in my library. But what I do not, but what I actually do is I print out the list. It's on a Word document. I print it out and I check off the books that I've read. So I don't have a separate list for those books that I've read. I actually just check off books that I've already read. And unfortunately, because and now I've got a whole bunch of new books over the years since we've been here, because the used bookstore is like a 10-minute walk from here. So I have just bought a whole bunch of new books. And then there's a Books A Million, which it's in driving distance, but it still is not that far. Okay, so question number 2. If you record stats, what stats do you record? I don't personally record stats, but of course I do look when I'm bored and, I'm curious. I will look at the stats on Goodreads. But but all that says is the number of pages you've read, and it has a graph so it doesn't really have much stats, but I will look at that. But that's about it. I don't actually record stats myself. Okay. Question number 3. Do you give star ratings for books? If so, what do you score books out of? And how do you I will have to find the question and see what the actual question is. I do give star ratings, but okay, so if you've seen my video about, my thoughts on star ratings, I feel like it's very complicated, because I feel like star ratings are a very simple statement of your thoughts on a book. It just, it has 1 star, you thought it was a really bad book, 2 stars, you thought it was okay, not the worst book in the world, 3 stars, you really liked it, 4 stars, you really loved it, and then 5 stars, it's the best book ever, you didn't see anything wrong with it. And it's just an easier way, because I have to really think about my thoughts and how I feel about a book. So, stars is a quick, easy way to sum up your thoughts. But then, I feel like it's important, I do believe it's important to write reviews and to write down your thoughts to explain why you gave that book this star rating. So it's more, for me, there's 2 reasons. 1, I don't like leaving it blank. Unless I didn't finish the book, I might leave it blank then, because then I feel like I can't really give a star rating. And 2, what was the second reason? It's an easy thing to do. But then sometimes, and it's kind of like a placeholder until you write the review. And I also don't like how every time I click that I finish a book, I feel like I have to do the review right then and there, and I need to think about what I want to say first and organize my thoughts. So yes, I do a star rating, but I do it out of obligation. And I kind of just follow, and I do follow what it says on Goodreads, because when you hold the mouse on there, there's the little pop-up message that says, what each star means. Okay, question number 4. And I kind of answered this one already. Do you review books? Yes, but I feel like I'm not that good at it. And I always feel self-conscious because there are most books I absolutely love. And I don't find anything wrong with them. Like, I can't pinpoint the bad things. Even if it's a book that's just okay, that I didn't love it, I still can't pinpoint why I didn't love it. I really struggle with finding the criticisms and the critiques that most people find, like, how people recognize tropes in books, or like if a book has bad writing. I mean, it has to be really obvious when it's not and when it's bad. For me to see it, and I feel so self-conscious, especially because I'm someone who wants to be an author. So it's like I keep asking myself, do I not recognize this stuff? If I want to be an author, I should be able to recognize this stuff, and I feel bad about that. I feel like, does that, if I don't recognize it, what I am prone to make those mistakes, And granted, I should write for myself first. I feel like that's what authors should do at first. That's the first thing they need to think of, is writing it down for themselves. Don't think about writing for an audience. And then after you write a rough draft, then eventually start thinking for an audience, thinking about writing for an audience. Because then, when you're ready to get it published, then yeah, it's important to think about your audience. But when you're writing your first draft, keep the audience in the back of your mind. But it's just going to stress you out. I mean, of course, I'm not an expert because I haven't had anything published yet, but that is just my personal opinion. I feel like it's just going to drive you crazy and stress you out if you're thinking, oh, fans won't like this. I mean, keep the audience that you're writing for, like if you're writing for teenagers or you're writing for adults, keep that in the back of your mind, of course, but, don't drive yourself crazy thinking about it. But anyway, so yes, I do write reviews, and I feel like I have gotten better at it, but I always worry, okay, I need to find something that I don't like. I need to find a criticism, and I can't find it, because I get lazy. And I also don't see it all the time. And I have to almost watch other people's reviews to be like, oh, wait, yeah, that's true. Or I didn't like that. Or I liked that even though you didn't like that. So it's almost better that I watch other people review the book first before I do my review of the book. But yes, I do write reviews. Not all the time, though. But I'm trying to get into the habit of doing it all the time. Okay. How do you pick up your next book? I didn't really have an answer for this because I don't know. I mean, I'm in between a lot of books right now. So, it's just, I think I have recently discovered that I am a bit of a mood reader. So, I pick up books whatever book I'm in the mood for, and I'm in the mood for a lot of books. And I'm also in the mood for a lot of sci-fi, a lot of fantasy books too. Not sci-fi, but fantasy books. Okay, so I don't know. Just whatever I'm in the mood for. That's how I pick the next book. Okay. The last question. Question number 7. Do you have any other rituals for when you have finished a book? Nope, not really. I just jump into the next book because I'm always afraid that I will get into a reading slump. And I try to avoid that. I mean, I've never really felt myself in a slump before. I mean, I might, after I read a book, I might be like, okay, I need to take a break for the day or for a few hours before I jump into the next book, but that's the most. But yeah, I don't. But anyway, no, I don't really have any rituals. I have thought about things like I have attempted to make TBRs, but I am definitely one of those people that doesn't stick to them. And I thought about, okay, I need to read at least one sci-fi book and one fantasy book. But then by the time I decide that, I've already have a bunch of books. And I'm reading a lot of fantasy books. So it's like, I can't pull one back. I need to keep reading with those. So I'll read a few more fantasy books than the rest of them. But basically, no, I don't have any rituals. So that was the finished book tag. So, if you liked watching me do this tag, give this video a thumbs up and click subscribe. And as always, I hope you are enjoying your reading, and I will talk to you all later. Alright, bye.